So it's admission season, it's post UTME season, and this video basically is to share some of the tips that helped me during my admission seeking period. Now basically, if you're looking for admission, by now you should be familiar with the university that you want to attend. You should know about their post UTME. I think some universities have even started their screening. Some have released their post UTME applications, like they've opened up their portal for applications. But if you do not know about the school you want to attend yet, like you are not well informed about the university you want to attend or their post UTME process or screening process, don't panic. Just stay with me and let's discuss a little bit. Okay, before I continue, before I go deeper into the actual topic of the day, let me just ask, how are you doing? I hope that you did not relax after Jamb. I hope that you've been preparing for the post UTME. I hope that after Jamb you've been up and doing. One of my advice in my previous videos is that after Jamb you should keep reading, and that is very, very important. Even if your school is not going to write post UTME, if all they do is online screening, it is still better to keep reading after Jamb, because it is going to help you when you eventually start lectures, when you eventually resume in your university. Because when you get to school, your first year in uni, in most schools, many of the courses you'll be taking will still be building on the subjects you did in secondary school. So basically, if you're still reading, it is never a waste. In fact, it will be very, very helpful to preserve your CGPA and all of that. So anyways, let me answer the question that this video is meant to answer. If you've been wondering how to find out information about the school that you're going to attend, because let me just say at this point that I know that some of us have lecturers inside the school, or maybe our mom knows somebody inside the school that is maybe informing them and keeping you updated about like the admission process and everything. But let me just say it is not enough, and I'm going to explain quickly what I mean by this. Lecturers in school are meant to lecture, right? They are not working in the admission office. So sometimes there are memos that are passed, there are information from the admission office that a lecturer might not be aware of if it is not directly involving his or her services. So basically, if you have someone inside the school, it is a bonus, it is a plus. It is good to have someone on the inside that can always help make the admission process a lot easier for you. But just know that they can't always know everything, and even when they know some things, they might be too busy with their own lives or be too busy with their work that they do not even remember to inform you. So it is still your responsibility at the end of the day to find out about the school that you're going to attend, to find out when is their post UTME starting, how is their admission process, and all of those things. Now, how exactly do you find out these things? The first way that you can try is a simple Google search. Just type in the name of your school in the Google search bar and start to check out the websites that come up after the search. On the search page, you should see the official website for your school. That one will always contain official information, so you can check it out as well to see if there is any official update regarding their post UTME or their screening and everything. Now, aside that, there will be other sites on the Google search page that might be talking about your school or talking about admission process and all of those things. If you check those sites, you might find some WhatsApp links to some WhatsApp groups of the schools that you want to attend. If, for instance, you want to go to UI, if you type in University of Ibadan on Google search, it will bring their official websites, but still bring some other websites that are mentioning that university. And thank God these days AI has even made things easier. So you can even try an AI search. You can ask AI to search for WhatsApp group links to your university of choice, and once you get that, join those WhatsApp groups. Another place to search is Facebook. Facebook is very, very, very helpful in this regard, because on Facebook most schools have large groups on Facebook, whether they are official groups or unofficial groups. Most universities have some kind of group that you can join to get updates about the school that you want to attend. Now I'm going to get to the actual trick in all of this, but in those Facebook groups as well, you might also find WhatsApp links, whether in the comment section you might find WhatsApp links to, or Telegram links to your university groups, whether the groups are for admission seekers or for 100 level of your school or 200 level of your school, or for those that are already in the school. Don't worry about this, don't panic, just join the groups first. Now after joining the groups, the trick now is to actually reach out to people in the group. Now I know that at this point you're looking at me like, okay, are they not going to post information on the group? Is that not why I joined? Exactly, you joined the groups for updates, because in those kind of groups, whether they belong to admission seekers or not, most times whatever information coming from the school, students tend to pass those kind of information to other general groups or platforms of the university. So there is still a likelihood that you're going to get the information you need from everyday normal posts in the groups that you join. But to be on the safer side, to actually get more in-depth information, the trick now is to reach out to people in that group individually. Like, what I mean by this is, whether it's the admin or maybe somebody that you've noticed is a bit active on that group, reach out to the person, like DM the person, start a private chat with that person. This is where your questions can be answered without stress. Although you can also drop whatever questions you have on the group, but if for instance those groups are not so active, you might not get a reply to the questions you ask on time. But if you reach out to that person just in a polite manner, and don't reach out and say hi and then stop and wait till the person comes to reply. No, because I've seen that happen a lot and it can be annoying. When you reach out to somebody that you've not chatted with before, you don't just say hi and stop at hi. No, you say hi, you introduce yourself. My name is this and I got your contact from this group, and I am reaching out to you because I need some information about the school and I am hoping that you can help me if you don't mind. Something like that. Don't just be polite, be straightforward. Don't just stop at greetings and hope that the person will come and reply you and then you continue the conversation from there. No, reach out to the person and ask your questions. Ask the person what level the person is, because sometimes some people are still on a freshers group whilst they are already like in 300 level or 400 level or whatever. So ask politely, ask about the school. How is the school? How is the Post UTME? Does he or she have past questions that he can share with you? What subject combinations you're going to be writing? But before you ask all this, ask the person first what level the person is and if the person can actually help you. If the person cannot help you, then ask if the person has anybody's contacts that they can share with you so that you can get information from that person. For instance, if a person is already in 300 level or 400 level, it is better for you to just request or ask the person if the person has a 100 level person's number, because that is the person that has just finished writing Post UTME. You can ask the 400 level person questions as well, but then the person might not be so used to the admission process anymore because it's been a few years since the person passed through that stage, and also things might have changed. The admission process might have changed after the person got in. It is better to actually ask a person in 100 level or 200 level all of those questions about the Post UTME exercise, because sometimes if you don't ask, there might be some material circulating that probably it is an inside thing. Like, those that are familiar with the school might have that material and be able to prepare more. And even sometimes those that are attending tutorials inside the school and maybe in their tutorial center or study center, they have like a preparatory material, and you that you're not inside the school with them, you're not doing your Post UTME tutorials inside school, you might not have access to those materials, and at the end of the day you might not really have the right materials to study for their post UTME. So this is one of the reasons why you have to reach out to those people. So ask questions and ask about the school environment as well, because sometimes you don't know some things until you're actually in the school. For instance, the university that I attended, I did not know that there was no light around the school until I entered, until I gained admission and became their student. What I mean is, like, the school provides electricity inside the school, but outside the school, and most hostels were outside the school because the school hostel was small, so most people were living outside the school, around the school, and they did not have electricity. Like, they had not had electricity for years. So those that were there were surviving by using gen or charging with money. Like, they go and plug, pay a certain amount of money to charge their gadgets and all of that. And I did not know that until I got to the school. And the funny thing is that one day we were having a discussion in class. Randomly, a conversation just led to the other with a lecturer. And then the lecturer was expressing surprise that she actually was not aware that the environment of my university was not having electricity. So now, that is one of the reasons why I said that it is good to have somebody working inside the school giving you information, but the best place to still get information, to get the actual information that you need, is from the students, because it is the students that are experiencing it. It is the students that can really give you in-depth information from their own experience. They can give you correct information about the things happening there. So asking questions, getting the experience of other students helps to prepare you mentally, helps to prepare you financially. Like, you get to ask them what's the range of the cost of hostels over there. Just all the questions that you need to ask, you literally can ask. Even sometimes by connecting with those people, if it is a school or a university that does post UTME, they might be helpful in accommodation whenever you want to go and write the post UTME exam. And one last thing, I don't know if it is everyone that knows this, but Nigerian public universities do not consider second choices. So don't think in your head that, oh, I made this federal university or this state university my second choice. If the first choice does not work out, I will take the second choice. No, it does not work that way. Second choice universities, public universities in Nigeria, do not consider you for admission. The only reason or the only way to make them consider you is to go and change your institution. Change that particular university to your first choice. That is when they will consider you. And when you do that change, you have to do the change before their post UTME. See, once they have started their post UTME, or once they have started their online screening, it will be very difficult for them to consider you after that. So whatever changes you want to make, whether your change of institution or your change of course, make sure that you do them before the post UTME of whatever school you want to change to. If it is after the post UTME that you go and do a change of course, that will not help at all, because so many people already chose that course that you now want to change to. You want to change from medicine and surgery to pharmacy. Before the post UTME, you have to go and do a change of course to pharmacy. It is not after the post UTME, because if you write the post UTME and the course there is still medicine and surgery, you will be considered for medicine and surgery. And if your cutoff mark or if your aggregate score does not meet up with the cutoff mark, automatically you are not gaining the admission. And from my experience with UI and other schools, most of the time they usually will not consider you for a related course, because all of those courses are already saturated. All of those courses, there are already too many people there. They are even trying to reduce the number of people. They cannot give admission to everybody. So they cannot now, because you didn't get admission for your course, and say, oh, because your cutoff meets up with other sister courses, they will now give you the next course. Say, okay, because you did not meet up for medicine and surgery, take nursing. No, they don't do that. So you will have to go and change your course if you want admission that year by fire by force. And by the time you go and do the change of course, those courses will not, those competitive courses will not be available again. You cannot change to those courses again, so you have to settle for whatever courses, maybe in like the sciences. So if you want to make any change, make the change before the post UTME of whatever school that you choose. I would really love to hear from you. I would love to hear good news that you guys gained the admission for the course you wanted in the universities that you wanted. If you have any questions about the admission process or about any school in particular, you can still drop them in the comment section. If I am able to find answers, I will definitely answer the questions for you. And if any other person is well informed about the question, they can answer for you too. So drop the questions in the comment section. If you have any comments as well, please drop them in the comment section. Like the video, share with anybody who might find it helpful, and subscribe. Encourage me to keep putting out more videos like this. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in my next video. Good luck. Bye.